All right, as it's getting cooler, getting these nice cool evenings, which I love, but it's also nice to have something hot in your belly. This is something in Canada we would have called stoup. It's like when you're making a soup and you got so much in it that it's just about like a stew. Kind of an in-between. It's somewhere between soup and stew. So this today, Bratwurst, cheddar, and potato stoup. This will warm up your winter nights. It's cream in there too. It's all creamy. Cheese, of course, a cheddar cheese. Then you've got the chunks of potato, sliced up bratwurst, onions, all kinds of good stuff in here. Oh, that cheesy, creamy flavor. Yeah, this will warm me up on a winter night. So, let's go in the kitchen and make some of this right now. And have a good laugh as you watch me make a mistake by using not big enough of a pot. It was a fun episode today, I'll tell you. First, the ingredients for our stew. What we've got here, well, across the front, I've got a 1/4 cup of butter. I've got a 1/4 cup of flour. I have 3 cloves of garlic, thinly sliced. Over here, I've got 1 teaspoon of pepper and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then over here, the cheese. Well, this is cheddar cheese, 1/2 pound, 230 grams grated cheddar cheese. Here, 2 onions, coarsely chopped. Yeah, kind of rough chop. And then here, this is 1.5 pounds or 680 grams of bratwurst. Now that's about a dozen the bratwurst sausages, and I've cut them and sliced them into rounds about a 1/2 inch or 10 to 12 millimeters thick. That's about perfect, just like that. Nice bite size. Here I have 2 pounds or 900 grams of potatoes, which have been scrubbed clean and then chopped up into bite-sized pieces. Across the back here, the liquids. Well, this here, 4 cups of chicken stock, 1.5 cups of heavy cream. That's a 35% cream in there. And then a 1/2 cup of white wine. Basically, that's just a little flavor, and also going to use that to deglaze the pot after we've been cooking some of the other things. So first thing I want to do is I want to get, notice I've got my big cast iron pot here. Any deep, heavy pot will do. So if you've got a Copco or something like that, fantastic. And what I'm doing there is I want to throw in the butter, and I want to get that melting on medium heat. Let's spread those around a bit. All right, so gotta get that butter melted, and then once that's melted, in goes the onions. All right, that butter has melted, so in goes the onions. Also, in goes the bratwurst and the salt and pepper. Just the salt, not the dish. The pepper. All right, what I'm gonna do now, stir that around. I'm gonna cook this medium heat, stirring occasionally, for about 10 to 12 minutes. Just want to get a little bit of browning happening on some of that bratwurst. I want to get those onions softened up a bit, and then we'll be back. See you then. All right, so those onions are softening up a bit. We got a little bit of cooking, a little browning, some spots on the sausages or the bratwurst. That's looking pretty good. What I want to do now is I want to add in the flour, and I'm going to cook this, stirring it for about 2-3 minutes. Just want to get that flour cooked a bit and get it in with that butter, and then we'll come back and add in a bunch more ingredients. All right, so see you back here in a minute or two. All right, that's looking really good. What I want to do now is I want to deglaze everything off the bottom, like some of this flour especially is going to cook to the bottom of your pan a bit. But what we do now is we add in that 1/2 cup of white wine, and that deglazes the bottom. It just gets it off there. It'll cook a bit, so you you scrape around, and everything that's been loosened up by the white wine comes up and into the stew and just adds goodness. All right, that's looking good. Now we can add in things like the garlic. That's going to go in here now. Ooh, that was hot. And the stock, the chicken stock. Make sure we got everything soft sitting on the bottom there. Oh, this pot's going to be a little bit pushed to the limit again. Unfortunately, this is about the biggest pot I have. Really need to get one brought in from somewhere else that's bigger, because it's quite often I'm pushing it to the limit. All right, now the next thing I want to add in the potatoes. I don't know if I'm going to get all those potatoes in there. Danger. Maybe. We've got half an inch left to go. Oh boy. All right. Well, got a little bit of potato here that's not going to go in there, so that's going to go into my breakfast. All right. So, what I want to do now is I want to bring that up to a simmer. I want to simmer this for about 15-20 minutes. I want the potatoes to be cooked, so probably going to go 20 minutes. And then I'm going to come back. Hopefully we've reduced the liquid down so we can get the cheese and the cream in there. I'll tell you, right now I'm really wishing I had a bigger pot, because that's really pushed it. All right, so I had to make a quick decision and decide that, yeah, that was not going to ever give me enough room for all this. That's what happens when you increase the size of the recipe and you forget that you can't increase the size of your pot. So what I've done is just split half and half between two different pots. That works. So what I'm going to do now, it's been cooking away nicely. Give it a little stir. You see, oh, look at that. Oh, that is going to be fantastic. It's thickened up a little bit from added the flour and all. And let's see this one over here too. Great. All right, so what I want to do now is going to add in, divide the cheese between the two. So kind of half and half. I think that half would have got a little bit more than this half. And drop some. That's about even. About even. All right. I'm going to do exactly the same with the cream too. So about half the cream. Let's see, go about there. I'll do it. The other half over here. I am so looking forward to this. All right. Just stir that in. What I do now is I'm going to cook this for about anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. What I want to do is I just want to get that cheese all melted in there and bring it all back up to heating, because we'll knock the heat down a bit with that cream. But look at that. That is looking absolutely beautiful. All right, I'll see you back here in about 3 to 5 minutes. All right, so it's been a few minutes. If you look down in here, it's gotten kind of nice and creamy. Fantastic. That is absolutely beautiful. It's all come up to heat. So now, let's have a bowl full of this goodness. The sausages in there, potatoes, onions, got that cheese. And it's smelling absolutely fantastic. Yeah. This is good any cold winter night. I know we're not quite into winter yet, but someplace we're getting there. So when I was living in Canada, this kind of thing, fantastic for those cold winter nights, because some of the places I lived in northern part of British Columbia, it got really cold. It was like minus 45, and you needed something like this in your belly. Look at that. That's going to be good. I'm going to give that a little try. Make sure you mix them up real quick. All right. If you like this recipe, stick around and check out the channel. There's a lot more, and they're all original Kevin Riley Kuma's Kitchen recipes. Some of these are things I developed years and years and years ago, and now I want to share them with you. Make sure you subscribe, because I put a new one out every Monday. And also, if you're not yet a patron, well, please consider becoming one, because you'll help me to put these out there, to be able to afford to keep making these videos, put them on the channel, and share all my recipes with you. Also, you get all the cool stuff that the patrons get. Anyways, now go make this wonderful soup and make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.